Welcome back to the number one podcast in the world. We are your hosts, Chase DeMoor.
And Gabrielle Moses.
And I am here with head coach Gabrielle as well. As you guys know, there has been a major fight announcement that's shaken up the entire fight universe as well as the influence social media universe. Chase DeMoor versus Angel Tay on December the 20th in Dubai.
Michelin Man's going down.
Michelin Man, that's what they call it.
He's bald. I don't know what else you'd call it.
Outside of the ball allegations that Gab is dropping on this man, obviously, like, there's been a lot of questions in the air, and I haven't done a whole lot of interviews, so I'm just kind of putting this out there myself. You know, the thing is with Angel Tay, particularly, everybody wants to know, why did he pick me to fight? Why not Darren Till? And, you know, why not, you know, one of these other super big names? But, you know, I just want to emphasize on the fact that's the worst decision that he possibly could have made. You know, obviously, he is very popular, very big. Those of you guys that don't know who Mr. Top G is.
I was literally about to say Mr. Top G.
Mr. Top G. Just do a simple Google search, you know.
He's known for hating therapy and women.
I don't know anything about what she's talking about. I'm contractually obligated. I don't know
anything. Whatever I want to say. So
I don't know anything about that. But all I know is, you know, I'm here with head coach. Him and we are going to be in the ring December 20th, you know, bashing his head in. So I mean, that's all we can do.
Same stuff, different day.
Gary's here all the way from the UK too, as well. So that's a really big, exciting journey, I guess. Are you excited to be out here?
I can't wait. Yeah, I love it. I love it out here because it's serious, train hard, fight easy all the time.
Yeah, you know, obviously, just going right into it, we heard that his coach coming on doing interviews recently talking about what they got going on in their camp. Can you just talk about a little bit, like, how much or like how concerned do you think that we are inside our camp and like obviously the preparation that we're doing to make sure that we're ready to fight on December 20th?
Yeah, I mean, there's no concern from us, obviously. Listen, you know what it's like, camp's camp. We don't train for a certain person. We just train to the best of our ability to make sure we're the best we can be. And the best that we can be, no matter what the internet says, like Twitter, they would say, oh, Chase DeMoor, he's terrible. Oh, he's technically so bad. He does this and that wrong. Ain't no one beat us yet. So we're still going undefeated. I mean, his coach, from what I gather, is like predominantly like a kickboxing coach. But for me, I've been doing boxing for 25 years now. So it's a long time. I've only ever really worked with heavyweights. I just think a lot of stuff his coach comes out and says, there was a little interview he done on Twitter where he was like, oh, we're not going to fight on the inside for this fight. We're going to keep it at range. Well, Chase is 6'6". He's got probably the longest reach I've ever seen. So I don't know how that's going to work out for him. It's going to be a bad day.
Will the kickboxing even translate over to boxing like at all?
No,
I don't know how that works.
Not in the slightest, because the balance is different, the footwork's different. You'll be square-footed a lot of the time. So, I mean, a gust of wind comes in, he'll be over.
I mean, we fought a kickboxer back in, what, May?
Yeah, and how that ended. Yeah, look how that ended. Some say he's still on the floor.
Mr. Tank Tillman himself.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, too? It's just like even watching a lot of like what he's been doing and you know, he's got this story arc right now about how he's supposedly the underdog in this. You know, the thing is he's not the underdog. Well, to us, he's the underdog. Like, that guy is the worst decision you ever made.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about the totality of the world, the people that don't know Misfits Boxing, the people that don't know fighting in general. They look at, you got Chase DeMoor versus Angel Tay. Why is everybody looking at Angel Tay and saying, okay, this guy should absolutely, like, you got Wade and all them saying that he should stomp me easy.
Yeah, but you compare it on paper, like, obviously he's a multiple-time world champion. He's had 86 kickboxing bouts, last bout being 2020. So, I mean, on paper, it looks like, oh yeah, he's unbeatable, like he's so good, and you've only had 10 to 20 bouts now. So I mean, if you look at it on paper, it looks relatively like Angel Tate's going to win, but listen, we know what we do in and out of the gym. The sparring partners knows what happens.
And what do you know about this kickboxing championship?
That's what I was going to say. If you're 80 fights,
it's a bit ropey. I mean, I think a lot towards the end of his career, especially, a lot of stuff was handpicked. So like one of his last fights, he fought a guy that was 19 years old. Listen, this kid was not in shape in the slightest. He had never even had a fight. Like, you have someone at 86 bouts fighting someone that's never had a kickboxing bout before. That's like putting Canelo in against a 1-0 Mexican. Like, it's crazy. It don't work. So,
and one of them, I believe he quit He quit in one. He got poked in the eye.
Yeah.
I saw this clip of him getting absolutely just dropped to the canvas in another fight.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, that one, I think he got his jaw broken or something. Someone posted on there saying he got his jaw broken in the first round. But I mean, with the adrenaline and stuff on boxing, listen, he could have carried on. He just quit. He took the easy option. And my coach always told me something that'll stay in my head forever. And it's you can't train someone out of quitting. Once they quit, they're a quitter forever.
Yeah.
So we'll see that December 20th.
And then, like, you think about, like, in terms of what, I don't know a whole lot about kickboxing or the popularity of it, but he did it, you know, about a decade ago. And from what my understanding is like, that wasn't even the top level of kickboxing. It's not like a Glory or whatever the other one's called.
Yeah. He didn't get onto Glory or any of the mainstream shows. He just fought, like, in the 90s and early 2000s, like, semi-professional kickboxing was massive in the UK compared to boxing. So a lot of, like, the unlicensed white-collar stuff was predominantly kickboxing, which is what he done. So a lot of these world titles he won, he won the world titles, but there would be like 10 people in his weight category. Whereas to nowadays, he probably wouldn't even get 5 wins. There's a lot of difference.
How old is he? 30?
He's 38.
30.
I thought he was 39, turning 40 this year.
No, I'm pretty sure he's 38. I'm not 100% sure about.
Is it healthy for your body to, out of nowhere, you're like, oh, I'm going to fight again.
Yeah,
Like, let's just do this.
This is the thing, like, 5-year layoff. I'm like, I mean, you can't really call it a fight. Really, it's a 7-year layoff since he had a real fight. But that long of a layoff, you're going to get ring rust and everything. With the 5-year layoff, it's really been 7 years because he has not boxed anyone, well, he's not fought anyone since 2018, really, in a competitive bout. It's a long period of time to go away. I know he said while he was away and stuff like this, he's been training every day. Training's all well and good. I mean, I could take anyone on the pad for 6 weeks and they'd look unbelievable. Fighting's a completely different ballgame. And when you're fighting someone in the biggest chase and the strongest chase, it's going to be bad day.
Yeah, because when you step in the ring, I feel like, I mean, I've never been a real athlete or anything. I'm just guessing. When you step in the ring, you don't hear anyone, and also you forget a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
trust me, I can hear Gary.
Yeah.
Duh, but I mean, it's different once you step in the ring compared to hitting pads.
Yeah, of course. We keep like familiarities though. So like, especially like with the thing you're saying about only here, I shout at him. You've seen it in training. I yell at him the same as I'd yell at him in the corner. So he knows that voice, and I would constantly. He hates it, but I repeat stuff to him. Like we did it in the last fight. Like I just repeat stuff over and over and over again. I mean, 20, 30 times before he even gets to the ring. He's like, right, I got it, and I'm like, I'm just saying it. So when he gets in the ring, he's used to that voice. Exactly. And then when the bell goes, the only person he's hearing is me and the referee.
Exactly.
Well, not even the referee.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
You know what it is too, especially with Tate. It's like he has like this cult of followers. These men, the real world people that essentially are the reason that he's so funded. And my question is like, you got all these people on Twitter that are supposed boxing experts are coming on telling me I'm gonna get battered and so on and forth. My question is like, you see these guys in real life, none of these guys would ever get in the ring.
Yeah, they ain't never had fights. They're the people I describe as like the greasy like kids that are like in their mum's basement on the computer till middle of the night, just commenting stuff on Twitter. They ain't never had a fight. Unless you stepped in the ring, you'll never know what it's been like.
Yeah.
Here's my thing though. I mean, kudos to him for accepting the fight. He could have picked a much easier opponent. I'm sure there would have been a lot easier people.
Yeah, we got to rate the confidence. Even when they dropped the fight on us, they dropped us on July. This fight was like a year in the making before they even told us in July. And then, I call up Gary, obviously he's gassed about it. He's really excited about the fight. But the thing is like, we weren't even too excited about it because this is one of those things that can be taken away in a heartbeat. So,
it could still be taken away. Who knows if something happens?
Yeah, there's always that aspect like fight injuries and stuff like that happen. But we always just train. We're professionals. We train to the best of our ability, and then no matter who steps in, whether it's Andrew Tate or his brother Tristan, they're both getting starched.
Yeah, starched.
No problem.
And the thing is like, the way that this works is like, we understand the fight game. Like he is a bigger name than me. I'm not too proud to admit that, but there's a lot going into this, and he's like, my title's on the line, and it's like, sure, kudos to this older man who comes in and wants a title shot against a much more active, much more younger, larger opponent. But if you guys think for a second there's not stipulations in there that give him the upper hand, then you guys have to think past the surface level. And by any means we're not taking no fucking dive. No shot. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna starch this man, and we're gonna give him credit for coming in and fighting a much bigger, stronger opponent just to see if he still has it. But what I'm not gonna be acceptable with is him creating this narrative online as if he has every uphill battle to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a control freak. That's why he's trying to spin the narrative like he's the underdog, when really behind the scenes, we all know what's really happening and the stipulations behind the fight. I can say what I want to say, but he's a control freak who is trying to sway everything his way.
Yeah, he's controlled everything to a T, like all into the lead up to the fight. But it doesn't matter. Listen, he's 38 years old. He's not gonna beat someone as young and hungry. Like Chase has won the title last year back in November, and he trains harder now than he did back then. Like a lot of people, they lose the hunger as they go on. That's not the case here. Like we're looking well past Angel Tate.
And there's a lot of people. We're looking well past him, and then there's also a lot more invested into this camp than any other camp before. You know, like obviously Gary having to hop on a 10-hour, 11-hour flight just to get to LA so we can get the training right away. You know, we're up early. You know, we're doing media, we're doing interviews, we're doing podcasts, we're taking people inside camp with us. We're doing things that no other fighter is doing. To like this degree, and like that, outside of the physical exhaustion, I'm sure Gary can speak on this because he makes sure that I'm in bed every night, exhausted, not only physically but mentally. It kind of goes back to like the drilling, the weight cut, the boxing. All of this plays a factor. It gets to a point now where Gary's telling sparring partners no, that we cannot train with them because they're not a high enough level to help us reach the level that we think that we can be at.
Yeah, because you also don't want to get comfortable or sloppy sparring.
But that's the thing. That's the problem you get. You get these guys that think they could spar with you, and then that's where you get mistakes. You come unstuck because you're so relaxed in there. You're just making mistakes against people because they're a lower opposition. Whereas the guys we're sparring now, like, I mean, you can speak on it, but he's such a high level. He doesn't give you 2 seconds to rest, and that's the hardest. That's the hardest part. Like sparring is so hard, and for the next few weeks, that's going to be the hardest part. And when he gets in there December 20th. After the bell goes, he'll realize how easy it is.
Yeah, and I think that outside of everything, we also understand like how much we have to gain from this, which is why we're so willing to agree to his terms and let him have whatever he wants. Because I think inside our camp, inside our team, we are confident that we're going to go beat this man and do it in an astonishing way to where people are essentially just going to try to jump on our bandwagon and say, oh, wow, look at the improvement. Look what he's done. It's like, no, whatever side you pick, please stay on that side of the fence. Because when we get to the other side of this thing and we're looking at, the Brock Lesnar's, the Conor McGregor's, the Tommy Fury's, these are the guys that we're going to fight. Moving forward, we don't want these people that were, shit talking us on these interviews and these podcasts and these Twitters coming and trying to be a part of Team Chase DeMoor at that point. It's like, no, you guys picked your side. You critiqued the fights. You critiqued the coaching. You critiqued the training.
Yeah.
Keep critiquing it, and we'll continue to keep proving you wrong.
Well, I mean, the other interesting thing that you haven't even touched on is how many people have come out of the woodworks, just being like, hey.
Yeah.
Can I have
crazy. You get a lot of that, especially with big fights. You get a lot of people trying to bring themselves to the center of attention.
Yeah, and like everybody who's sitting at this table right now, we all understand. Like the thing is like I'm gonna have to get a new number because my number's leaked now, and you got people that I haven't talked to in years, and they're coming out of the woodworks and they want to be at the fight, and they want not only do they want tickets to the fight, they want hotels, they want flights, they want.
It's like, what do you think?
Like, guys, listen, unless you guys were in Mexico in that dungeon that we were fighting in
the bar.
Unless in that bar. Unless you guys were in Colombia, unless you guys were fighting for pennies against Nathan Maricon, unless you guys were in those situations, you guys have no right to come and make any claims towards this fight. This is our moment. This is what we have been working for. This is when everybody's saying, don't do this, you're not able to do this. All of that stemmed into this moment. And outside of that, guys, we're not worried about anybody else but ourselves. Gary's job is to coach, focus on training, and the fight that we have December 20th. Gabrielle's job is she's doing all the behind the scenes stuff. She's making sure that we're good to go for training every day. My assistant, Kevin, he's busting his ass going through the training, doing the same thing. And my job is to wake up every day and they kill me. All 6 of the coach staff, everybody killing me every day. but it's a stressful job across the board. And there's a lot of emotions tied in it. So, when I talk about, what we have to gain and the future we have coming from this, yes, this man has a big name. He is the most influential man. He's up there with the Jake Pauls and the KSIs. And we got that opportunity to fight him. That opens up the door for guys like Jake Paul and KSI. And I love Jake and I love KSI, but, this is the fight game. And, we understand the task at hand is going to be difficult, but I firmly believe if I took Tank Tolman, who's also a kickboxer, I took Kells, who's a giant, and I took Nathan, who has worse antics than
Kells can't fight. Let's just remove him from the situation.
Than Top G. I'm just saying Kells is a much more dangerous opponent than Angel Tay. Kells can put you out in one punch.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've covered all aspects. We fought everyone. So like Kells, you got the big, large guy, way bigger, like way stronger. He's just massive guy. Beat him. Then you get the guys that are faster, a lot more sharper, beat them. Got the guys that are meant to punch harder, move better,
experienced guys.
And then we've had the kickboxers beat them. Like, Andrew Tate's not going to show us nothing that we've not already seen before. We've seen it all.
Yeah, and that's what people aren't understanding is not only have we seen this all before, we win in dominating fashion, and then now every camp, we find things from those fights and we improve and we take something from each one of those, and we're bringing in high caliber sparring guys, and the training just turns up higher and higher and higher because you reach a certain level. And it's like, yes, once we're done with Andrew Tate, everybody in this room, everybody in this camp is looking at the next big thing, but it all starts with July when we get the phone call. It all starts with having a good connection with your coach and having good diet and every bit and piece it takes an army to win these type of things. Whereas this guy's sitting in Dubai with his Bugattis and his helicopters.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
It is cool. It is cool, but the difference is he's playing the underdog role. It's like you're talking about the kid who fights because he's trying to make a name for himself versus a guy that's fighting just because he has a name. That's two different.
You ain't training as hard when you're getting up in silk pajamas.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
I mean, one other thing too about this whole fight, KSI was pissed about it. Like really, really angry about Andrew Tate even just coming into Misfits, because KSI used to be like a big owner of it. It isn't still. You know more about this than I do.
Yeah, he was the CEO, but from what I gather, I've only seen the clip that everyone else has seen online. Obviously, he's been relinquished to that title. Now Andrew Tate stepped in as a CEO, and now obviously he's saying he's ordered his mandatory title shot, obviously against Chase. So, I mean, once we're done December 20th, December 21st, he can go back to being the CEO. We're going to carry on just putting belt to us.
Exactly. We'll carry on putting belt to us. And that is also another thing. It's like, imagine that people, and this is another thing, is like people fight their entire fight careers to get these type of title shots. And they have, there's been people that have put in the work for it. And he comes in as CEO and he orders a mandatory title defense, and I have to fight him. First of all, nobody orders us to do anything, right? You didn't, if he says, hey, you're gonna come fight Angel Tay, anybody in the world is jumping on that. We're not doing it because we're ordered. Exactly, we're not ordered to do this. And I'm not saying we're getting pennies in this fight, because we're not, but in comparison to what he's getting paid versus what we're getting paid, it looks like that.
Okay, is that actually confirmed, what he is getting paid?
It's not on me to confirm or deny anything. If you guys want to know what he's getting paid, you get the simple chat GPT or Google, whatever.
Crazy.
You guys could do that. But we're not worried about that. What we're worried about is on December 21st, when we're sitting at McDonald's laughing at this whole thing, we're going to be on Twitter trolling back to all the trolls that are coming at us. All those people in the real world that are making all these meme accounts about it.
It's crazy. We've gone from Qatar, McDonald's, post-fight, to now Dubai. All in the space of 12 months.
It was also crazy. It's like the rise to the level of fame that Top G got is actually astonishing, because it was like one day that nobody really knew who Top G was, to the next he was the most Googled man in the planet.
Well, it's because the controversy that he...
There's a lot of controversy with it.
The things he says.
The things he says. But the thing is like, I actually would listen to his podcast and listen to his perspective of things, because I like to know the full scope of why is everybody canceling. And I remember after my first ever boxing match, it wasn't the prettiest thing ever. You have two options that you could just, hang up the gloves and move on from it. And I would listen to this man every single day on the way to workouts, on the way home from workouts, and it would motivate me to, keep going. And I just think it's like this full circle moment. In fact, I had Gary send me a video from 3 years ago yesterday of me essentially manifesting this fight with Top G, which is insane to me, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. We said we've gone from like seeing him in Vegas beginning of the year
We did see him in Vegas.
Yeah,
We did.
first lap.
to now
That.
fighting him.
Yeah,
So,
actually, the last time you were in LA, we did see him at Power Slap in Vegas.
Yeah.
I love
Was
him.
it March?
Yeah, I actually froze. I was like starstruck. I don't ever get
Yeah.
starstruck. I was like, that's Top G.
yeah.
That's so sick, you know? And then when we got this kind of dropped on us, but guys, to make things like this happen is very difficult and
A lot of negotiations.
a lot of negotiations. And you guys can imagine the amount of pressure and stress is on us because like everything that we're tweeting, everything we say, you know, we got everybody in our ear. You can't do this, can't say this, can't post this. As is like emotion plus accountability plus, you know, dedication from across the board. There's a lot that's going into this, and I just want to just overemphasize that we are not worried about people getting tickets to this fight. We're not worried about fights.
Yeah.
There's
We're
a
not
few
worried
more important things.
We are like, if you guys have my number, you don't even have my number anymore because I'm getting a new number. Don't call me and ask me about anything that has to do with you being at this fight, please. Like,
No, but when you say that, then they start asking me, and I'm like, why would I know? Why would I know anything?
They filter their way down the system. It goes to Gab, then it goes to me, then it goes to Kevin. I'm like, they worm their way in somehow.
mind you, I'm limping my ass home from training every day. I get a phone call like, hey, can I come to the fight? Sure. Okay, cool. You got me on my plane ticket, my
My
hotel, and
Transportation?
also, can you make sure it's ringside? And can I get some backstage passes for me and my girls? Girls. What?
No, it's crazy.
Well, buddy, I'm gonna be the one in the ring getting punched in the face. Like,
Like, I'm not worried about any of you.
you know, Gary's reputation is on. When Gary's in the corner, that's the only people that matter. Is the person in the corner, the person in the ring, versus the other person in the ring and the other person in the corner. It's a game of chess, you know.
I think the week leading up to it too, though, is going to be very interesting in Dubai with all the press and whatnot.
I think just the entire totality of leading up to it is going to be impressive.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I don't know what to expect.
What did
to
you
be
think
so
of-
honest.
What did you think of the Ariel Helwani show the other day when he was just a bit speaking on the whole situation? Me personally, I like Ariel Helwani. I think his show is great, but I just didn't really understand his fascination, you know, and I like Darren Till, but Ariel Helwani has like this fascination with Darren Till where he's on the show, they're trying to talk about the fight in Dubai, talks about me for like 5 seconds and he goes, why does Darren Till have this fight? Hey, guys, listen, let other stars be built. Like that.
Yeah, he switches back because the thing with Ariel Helwani, his base is mainly MMA, so he's very much like UFC. So there was a whole like thing a few years ago where he got banned from the UFC. He wasn't allowed to do media no more. He might still be banned, I'm not sure. But fighters like Darren Till and Conor McGregor tried to help him get back into the media, but I believe he's still banned to now. So he sort of rides for them all the time. But I mean, yeah, I'd like to see Ariel do a bigger piece on it, to be honest with you. And I'd like other people to do a breakdown. People like Wade, I'd like to see stuff like a breakdown on the fight.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I'm a middle child and I'm light skinned and I'm Gemini. I take everything personal. You know.
He's a little
Like I'm
sensitive.
very emotional. So like I take all this to heart, you know, and like Wade, I love Wade, don't get me wrong. And I watch some of his takes and then it's like he has these takes where he's like, oh, this should be an easy fight for Tate and he's got all the experience. Guys, let me tell you, like I have experience too. Whether you like my technique or my style or whatever, Gary will be the first one to tell you if it works for me and it seems to work, then we're gonna use it.
Yeah, of course. Because the thing is, you're very awkward as a fighter. You're very, very awkward. And I mean, I've had like over 100 fights and I sparred Chase and I'm like, damn, he's really hard to hit. He's awkward. He hits hard. He's aggressive. And you ain't going to train that out of someone. You want to keep that. You want to keep that because if it's awkward for me, it's going to be awkward for anyone else. So it's the best thing for you. And the thing is, the harsh reality was like Tank Tolman, like really lovely guy, nice guy. He found out, do you know what I mean? He catches you when you're square-footed. You get up and you're like, right, now we're going to get down to business. Boom. A minute later,
Yeah.
it's curtains.
Yeah, and it's like these fighters continue to find out and then they come on the other side and they're like, okay, like now I see what you've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because it's like the thing that makes fighters special, look at the guys like Tyson Fury or Lennox Lewis and these guys like this, or Larry Holmes even, these guys all have something unique about them that made them good fighters. You know, whether it's the jab, whether it's the style, whether it's the technique. It's like, I don't really care too much. I don't read into like the Twitter and people saying like do this different, do this different. You know, we are focused on what works for us in our camp and what's going to get the job done against Mr. 87 professional fights, 9 losses in Top G.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
But the thing for you is like, as well, like going along the lines like the Lennox Lewis stuff, they learn very quickly and listen. You're a very good listener and you learn. Like, I mean, we can just cut back clips of like when you fought Tank Tolman, the shot you hit him with, we're working on it in the changing rooms. The stuff with Kells, we draw that plan up 2 days before in your hotel room, just sitting there, done that plan, bomb, it pays off fight night. You listen to a T, and everything so far has worked perfectly. So December 20th is going to be exactly the same story.
And then on top of that is like, how many rounds of boxing do you think between you and I would probably watch?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
So much. You guys literally sit at the couch like watching.
we'd have weeks, especially when we was in Barcelona, we'd have like 2-3 weeks of watching boxing. You get home from training, boxing's on 8 hours, just constantly on a loop, watching it.
I can't tell you how many of these fights I've seen. I can tell you guys every fight from every 1980s to 2010 fight, every round, what punch was thrown and when,
Yeah.
and why. But you know what? Is like, that's the groundwork that you have to put in to beat a guy like Top G, because this is like such a high caliber fight that it's like, what are people going to say? You know, let's just say hypothetically on December 21st, I go out there and I knock him out in the first round. People are going to say, you got a lucky hit. People are going to say,
Too old.
he was too old. Like, people are going to say what? There's always going to be the guy on Twitter saying, oh, Top G wasn't at his best. He wasn't at his best night. He has 2 months to be on his best night, just like I have 2 months to be on my best night.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, the thing for us is like what separates you from everyone else, especially Angel Tay. Nobody trains harder, and I can say that confidently. Like, they might go train and do the same session that you do for 2 hours with their coach, but their coach is going home. We're going back to the same apartment, we're watching stuff on the TV. We're then talking about it. The training never stops. Although like the physical side of it, like the running and hitting the pads, yeah, that's fine. But afterwards, it's talking about it. We're going through stuff. We're rewatching clips and picking bits out we do like and we don't like. And then the next day, we're working on it. A lot of people don't get that aspect of it where their coach is with them 24/7.
Yeah, and that's part of the camp. You know, you bring your coach with you. You have him 24/7. That's a luxury that I have now that we haven't had since Roman Fury, and that goes back to like our Roman Fury fight when we were laughing because that guy really thought that he was gonna do it. I'm telling you guys, like that camp that we had for Roman Fury, that guy was gonna be done in 30 seconds. Especially after watching what he did. It was supposed to be like a week after he saw that guy. I'm talking Tank Tolman. We love Tank Tolman. Tank Tolman starches him. Kells beats him. We were going to absolutely demolish Roman Fury. And I would say like this camp in particular is much harder than the camp we have for that. And to tie into that, you have all these media outlets that take everything that we're doing from Twitter, from these other interviews, and they stitch this fake narrative together. It's like, you guys don't know what's going on. You guys don't know what's being said. You guys don't know the contract negotiations. Everything is our camp versus their camp. And that's what it is. So.
Exactly. There's so much stuff behind the scenes that everyone just forgets about. They think it's like daisies and roses and butterflies and it's easy and you just show up and you fight and that's all there's to it. But no, there's so much more.
On top of it too, it's like not only are we doing the boxing aspect of it, but we're also not as big as Tate where we can just, post something on Twitter and we got 1 million
it's a little different.
beta males retweeting him. It's like
no, literally it's all the beta male.
Not only do
the insecure men.
Hey, that's a girl telling you guys that. So yeah, it's Cobra's audience that are always gonna like and retweet what he has to say. Versus us, we actually have to go make quality content, do quality interviews on top of the training,
and you're still getting roasted for it.
We have to give you guys a story from our perspective. So imagine whose job is actually harder in this camp.
Yeah, and I will say like he's done a great job, like business wise and whatnot, creating such a dedicated, mentally ill following.
Beta males.
Like this man hated therapy so much he made his own podcast trying to give insecure men.
He has got a wild following.
It's insane. Like it's awesome.
Like
it's really amazing.
Somehow his following is like cult like.
It is.
They found my phone number, my address, my mom's address. My mom's like, I'm getting death
crazy.
threats. I'm like, wow, you guys are tough. But listen, I'm a little bit tougher. Like, if you think you guys are the first person to wish ill upon me, go ask any one of my ex-girlfriends. They all do it.
You get 1,000 of them in a room and us too. We know who's leaving. And it ain't none of them.
A bunch of dudes that are laying around with like the junk food around them in the basement on their mom's laptop, like, oh shit, it says Chase viewed my post.
But yeah, behind the scenes, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on too. I know Chase is making a lot of content. I'm going to start Twitch streaming again. So if you guys want to see stuff happening live and unedited and you want to see what's really happening, be sure to be following me too. And the YouTube vlogs are coming back.
Yeah.
So
And the nice thing about what Gabrielle's doing too is Gabrielle's also very much involved in the camp. So all the people watching, I'm not gonna be on the whole social media side of things. She's big on the social media thing, so she'll be vlogging the whole thing. And she's going back to live streaming on Twitch. So that is.
and I'm not bound by a contract to keep my mouth shut. So
I cannot confirm nor deny any of that, but
I can say what I want to say. Just saying. But I'm excited for all of that. It's going to be fun in Dubai. Or not fun. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle. But
yeah, and then just a couple last little caveats. Yeah, in terms of like who the hell is Angel Tay's coach? Do you know anything about this man?
I never heard of the guy. From what I gather, he's a kickboxing coach, which is fine. Like, that's all good. But like I said earlier, touched on it earlier, by the sounds of the interviews, he doesn't really got a clue what he's on about. He does a lot of this, like, when you're padding, for example, it's very much like touching, boom, little touch. Like, if you ever tapping anyone like that, buddy, you're getting slipped.
And you watched his sparring clips against, what was it, 30 dudes that paid to go sparring?
Yeah.
Where the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't know. Them dudes are paid for everything. Even going back to his last kickboxing bout, like, I'm 99% sure them guys are paid. Same as them sparring videos, them guys are getting paid because I don't think he's all that good. He makes a lot of common mistakes, like crossing his feet, various other things I'm not going to touch on. But, I mean, I don't understand what his coach is doing there, but I think he's made a mistake.
It's the worst decision of his life.
why didn't he get a boxing coach?
It's like, apparently that's his best boxing coach. And he's in there doing sparring. Some bum named Benny was in there sparring with him, tweeting. Listen, Benny from Glory Kickboxing got Glory Kickboxing tweeting at me saying, wrong fight to pick. Listen, if Benny is in there going rounds with Tate, then Benny's not very good either. like if you were in there doing rounds with Tate, buddy, then you're in the wrong sport. Maybe you should go sell some car insurance.
See, I can't really comment as much about the boxing stuff, but it's interesting to see what he's doing,
Yeah.
considering how old he is.
History lays it like a good kickboxer will never ever beat a good boxer.
Okay.
And it's a rule of thumb. Like, you'll never get a good boxer, for argument's sake, like James Toney, try to go to MMA, gets knocked out. You never get a good boxer be good at MMA. It's always the same. It'll always go down the same road. You'll never get a good MMA or a good kickboxer beat a good boxer. And then it's going to be exactly the same December 20th.
Anyways, yeah, so December 20th, we're going to get after him. We're going to go stomp on his bald head, as Coach Gary says. And we're going to be, and still, the reigning defending heavyweight champions. That's all the time we have for today. We appreciate you guys so much. I'm your host, Chase DeMoor.
And Gabrielle.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.